Hello there! Welcome back to I Review Things. My name is Luna. This is the first episode of reviewing Ghost albums and EPs. I'll find a better name for that soon. There will be 9 episodes in total. Quickly though, before we get to the actual album, let's go over who Ghost is. Ghost, or Ghost BC, formed in Sweden in 2006, is a metal and rock band with currently 5 albums. They are well known for their songs Mariana Cross, Year Zero, and Square Hammer. Their current record label is Loma Vista Records. With that out of the way, let's get straight into their debut album, Opus Eponymous. Opus Eponymous, Latin for self-titled work, was released on October 18th, 2010, 2011 in America and Japan, under the record label Rise Above Records. It has 9 tracks, 10 counting the bonus track released in Japan only, with a total runtime of 34 minutes. The album was produced by Tobias Forge under the name Gene Walker and mixed and mastered by Jamie Gomez Arellano. The album was nominated for Best Hard Rock Album in the Swedish Grammys. This album is responsible for Ghost's early look and their entire satanic theme. A Nameless Ghoul once stated, quote, "Very early on, when the material came together in the project phase before it was actually a band, when it was just a logo and a couple of songs, it, the band's image, came together by itself because the material and the lyrics sort of screamed an over-the-top commitment to the dark side. It is hard to make that credible and really eerie. What we thought of when we heard the songs is basically a band that looks like the way we do now." End quote. This album is canonically sung by Papa Emeritus I, or Primo. This is a really interesting opening, and one of the more interesting Ghost openers. While I've never been to church, it reminds me of going to one somehow, which I honestly think is what the band really wanted. Their entire image is a reversal of Christianity, after all. It's honestly really nice on its own. It's really calm and peaceful, but I think it doesn't mix well with the rest of the album. With that said, I totally understand where they were trying to go, and that makes it fit just a little more if you have like that little understanding. This would also set the precedent, for instrumentals only, or having a choir instead of just the lead vocalist on openers for almost all of the Ghost albums. Shoved awake from the last song and thrown headfirst into this album. The opening bass line is reminiscent of Metallica, Megadeth, and Iron Maiden, some of the band's greatest inspirations. Then the drums fade in and BOOM! The guitars explode to life! There's so much energy in this song! The lyrics are a bit cheesy, but that was kind of Ghost's vibe back then. Be cheesy and really directed the lyrics. I especially love the deep guttural voice that comes on. Sathanas, we are one. Out of the This is a really strong song and probably one of the first that people will hear off this album. If I had to rank every early Ghost song, this would honestly be number 1. If I had to rank every Ghost song in general, this would be really high up. Ritual threw me way the hell off at first, but in a good way. First time I heard it, I had just finished Conclavi Candio, and then this 60s or 70s pop rock intro started. I honestly thought there had been a glitch in my streaming service and another album from someone else had started. And we got back to the level of Conclavi, and there was no confusion. Even though I compared it, the intro, to 60s pop rock, I still really liked it. This seemed like a little peek at what Tobias, the producer, creator of Ghost, and the lead vocalist, had in store for the band in the future. If a song continued with the opening vibes, I could honestly see it, being on some of their later albums. But I still really like how it stepped away from the people and back into the then current style of Ghost. I also really like how they use the guttural voice again. This is one of my favorite songs to see live, hands down. Hell, it's the entire reason that Ghost fans call Ghost concerts rituals. And also brought about Cowbell Cool. R.I.P. man, R.I.P. This was the first song I heard from this album, and it's what got me to wanting to listen to the rest. I liked the pacing. This song is about Countess Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian countess who was an accused serial killer from the 1600s, and many thought that her supposed killings were due to a pact with Satan. Many now believe that her arrest and trial was entirely based off of rumors due to the lack of any physical evidence. This song leans fully into the idea that she did kill in the name of Satan, because of course a stereotypical satanic band would want to take that view. This song was really energetic, and I wish I could go back to the days that they played this live. Like I said earlier, the pacing and energy of this song is top tier. This is one of my favorites off the album. I know early on that Ghost was going for the stereotypical satanic band, but these lyrics are really, really direct with that fact. I don't like this song nearly as much as other songs off his album so far. It seems a bit repetitive and low energy, although it does sound like some of their newer songs, which I kind of like. And I know that a lot of Ghost fans are going to come at me for that, but I don't care. I don't have much else to say about this besides the fact that while it's repetitive, it's a good listen every once in a while. I still enjoy it to a degree. This one is the shit! I fucking love it! The lyrics are a bit quiet, but that's just due to them being early on in music making. And after so many listens, it kinda sounds repetitive, but I really like that you can hear the bass in the background. Bass has always been a very important part of Ghost songs, and I don't know many other bands that have a bass you can hear so clearly. I also really like the chorus, instrumentals, and vocals. There's also this funky organ synth thing at the end that I love. It again sounds like Ghost's newer stuff. I like how there's some songs that sound a little newer, because even though I love the sound of this album, a few songs that sound like it, have that same sound, can start to sound a little bit repetitive. Drum intro with the fade in from the bass set the tone perfectly. It's repetitive in a good way. I don't know how to explain it with that. There's also a very interesting tonal shift in the lyrics halfway through, where it becomes a song about the Devil's Tango. I also like the part about halfway through, about after receiving the Beast of Evil. It's like a little mini bass solo, and how this entire part ends with an isolated bit of drums, and how Tobias's voice sounds like it's being dragged from the void. If that makes sense, here's what I mean. See? Fuck yeah, baby! Prime mover time! intro to this song. There's not much else to say besides the fact that this entire song is a banger. I specifically love the isolated bass part in the intro and the whispering after the first chorus. This song fucks, yeah! I also really love the chorus in general. Tobias's voice sounds amazing. It is really short though. Second shortest song on the album, and the shortest song with lyrics. A lot of Ghost fans are really on the fence about this song, and I get it. It's not at all like the rest of the album. For starters, it's instrumental only. The rest of the album, so far, has had lyrics as well. Second, the instruments and general vibe of the song are really weird compared to the rest of the album. The intro is a synth, I think, and the ending has acoustic guitar. Personally, I really love this song. It's the perfect outro, and honestly kind of fits with Ghost's next album, which I think was positively planned. Because Tobias Forge has said in interviews that he's planned all of the albums from the start, so maybe Infest was planned to sound like this. I also love when the rest of the instrumentals. It feels so powerful. This entire song feels powerful, but a different powerful from the rest of the album. I love how it ends with acoustic guitar. It brings back the calm and peaceful vibes of Deus. The song, of course, was used when Primo passed the position of Papa Emeritus to Segundo, or Papa Emeritus the second, excuse me.
Io sono Papa Emeritus II.
Like I said, I honestly think that this is the perfect ending to the album, and showed what is to come. It incorporates synth and heavy guitar perfectly together, as well as the transition to acoustic. I love it. I only heard this for the first time yesterday. I had never heard the original Beatles song fully, only snippets, but I still really enjoyed the cover. My mom loved it so much. I don't have much to say besides it's a really neat cover, and it's a shame that it was only released in Japan.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
I took to Reddit to find what other people had to say. Almost everyone reflected my views, saying that the album was the best Ghost album and it held up really well over the past 10 years. Which I agree with on the it held up really well part. It held up super well. A lot of newer fans didn't listen to it at first, because, at least for me, I didn't think it would hold up as well or sound as good, and I am so glad I listened to it for the first time. It is one of the few things that current Ghost fans won't argue over, which says a lot, honestly. This album gets a solid 9 out of 10. While almost every song on the album was very strong on its own, when listened to together, they start to blend a bit, which is fair. There wasn't a lot of variety, which I normally would mind, since it's Ghost's first album, and since they actually pulled it off for the most part, I don't really care. It's still a fun listen. Thank you for watching to the end. I know in previous videos I said I would get to work on a video the next day. Obviously that didn't happen. Or I said I would work on Adachi and Shimamura. But with the video the next day, I didn't have the time and I lost interest after a while in that specific video. But it might return in the future, so stay tuned for that. And I haven't had the time to rewatch Adachi and Shimamura yet. I promise I will by the end of the year. I'm going to be quite busy for the next few weeks, though. If you want to see those videos, as well as the rest of this series, please consider subscribing. Bye! Ow. Just fucking hit my hand. Shit, ow.